Now, today we're going to talk about probably one of the biggest problems that today's player has at the high school level, and that's making the post-entry feed. Too often players make the pass out of position. One thing you don't want to do too much is make this pass, if you don't have to, above the free throw line. We're told, always been taught, get to that free throw line level or maybe below to make that post-entry feed. One of the other problems is we've been taught for years to throw that bounce pass 2/3 of the way there. Watch as I go to make this pass, and I'm not going to tell him what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do a nice pass fake and try to move his hands and then bounce past that ball 2/3 of the way there. What happens in that situation is Colton has a chance to get his hands on the ball, and especially in today's game with players being longer and faster than they ever were. All right, it's even much easier for them to deflect that pass. Now, one important concept I want to remind you is you don't always have to work out a triple threat. You can work out a dribble threat. But if you watch me here as I have the ball on the ground, I like to keep that ball behind my hip. Now, if Colton, go ahead and really guard me right here, I want you to notice something. As Colton's guarding me, boom, that ball actually bounces at Colton's feet. I don't bounce the ball 2/3 of the way there. Colton, play me a little bit to this side. Watch, I don't bounce, boom, see where that ball bounces? It bounces right here. Now, how do I do that? How do I get that pass into the post with that kind of speed without bouncing it 2/3 of the way there? Well, the first key is whenever I go to make my pass, I keep that ball behind my hip. The second key is when I make the pass, that thumb goes over top. Now, I'm still making reads. I don't ever just say I'm bounce passing every time. If I think Colton's really playing for that, boom, I might go high. I want to take what the defensive player is giving me. But one simple concept of practice is make that pass from behind the hip and bring your thumbs over top, boom, of the ball as you execute the pass. Again, if the ball's behind your hip, you can generate that kind of force. If I handle the ball out in front of my body in order to execute that pass, I have to bring the ball back, which gives the defensive player time to react, and then bring my thumb over top. Keep the ball behind your hip, bring your thumb over top. It'll make it much easier to make that post-entry. Now, one of the questions that has been posed to us on our current blog was on the post-entry feed. What happens when you're playing big-time pressure? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Players, honestly, they couldn't pressure me that tight because I was pretty good with the ball. And being good with the ball makes you harder to guard. But one thing we like our guards to do in that situation, if they know that this post player is open, is we like them to use the Stockton pass. I do not, I again want to say this, do not want to take my hips off the rim. But if he's quicker, faster, taller, and longer, Stockton used to do this quite a bit. Get into me, Colt. Boom, right here. He would take a defensive player here and then come back over. Very effective because this guard has to play you here. When he plays me here, I've stretched myself out to there. You can see I took the ball away from my offensive player. That way, kind of lulling his defensive player to sleep. And then I come right back to him. Boom. Very effective against the zone, very effective coming off a ball screen in a double team situation, and very effective when feeding the post.